Hello guys, welcome to IS Cafe. We are doing the summary of M. Laxmikant. So we are doing the chapter number 2, making of the constitution. This is the second video in this series, part 2 of the making of the constitution. Today we are going to study the constituent assembly. We all studied in the last video that cabinet mission plan came to India in 1946 to facilitate forming the constituent assembly to make the constitution of India. So let us see what were the provisions in the cabinet mission plan for setting up the constituent assembly of India. So what was the strength? The total strength of the constituent assembly was 389. So where did these 389 members came from? Of these, the 296 seats were allotted to British India and 93 seats to the princely states. So what is this British India? These British Indian provinces are those provinces which were directly governed by the British government. Then there was this princely states. These princely states were governed by the kings of these princely states. Out of these 296 seats allotted to the British India, 292 members were drawn from the 11 governors provinces and 4 from the 4 chief commissioners provinces. So how was the seats allotted? Each province and princely state were to be allotted seats in proportion to their respective population. That is, roughly one seat was to be allotted for every million population. So let us take for an example, there is an British Indian province A. It is having a million population. So there will be only one representative from that British Indian province to the Constituent Assembly. Now imagine there is a British Indian province C and it is having a 10 million population. So there will be 10 representatives from this province to the Constituent Assembly. So there was no uniformity in the seats allocated to the Constituent Assembly under the Cabinet Mission Plan. So the seats allotted to each British province were to be divided among Muslims, Sikhs and the general, that is others, the people who do not belong to the Muslim community and the Sikh community in proportion to their population. The representatives of each community were to be elected by members of that community in provincial legislative assembly. There will to be provincial legislative assembly in each of these British Indian provinces, and the members of this provincial legislative assembly would elect the members of the constituent assembly. Okay, and voting was to be by the method of provincial representation using a single transferable vote. Then from the princely states, the representatives to the constituent assembly used to be nominated by those kings, by the heads of the princely states. So now we understood that the members of the constituent assembly were partly elected and partly nominated, that too indirectly elected. Why indirectly elected? These members from the British Indian provinces were not elected by the people, from the masses. They were elected by the members of the provincial assemblies, and these members of the provincial assemblies were elected by the masses. Okay, so it was an indirect election. So it is a criticism that it did not represent the sentiments of the masses, as the members of provincial assemblies themselves were elected on a limited franchise. So finally, the election for these 296 seats allotted to the British Indian provinces was held in between July to August 1946. In this, Indian National Congress won 208 seats and Muslim League won 73 seats, and remaining seats were held by independent players, that is, the members who did not belong to neither of these two major political parties. This is an important prelims fact. So, and we also discussed that the seats were to be filled by the princely states, but 93 seats allotted to the princely states were not filled, as they refrained from the constituent assembly, because they were princely states. No, they were ruled by kings, Raja and Rajwades, and they did not believe in democracy. They did not want to be part of the Indian government. They wanted freedom. Though the assembly did not reflect the mass, it had representatives from every section of the society, every religion, women, tribal leaders, Dalit leaders, backward people, everyone were part of this constituent assembly. Every section of the society were part of the constituent assembly. And one important fact which we must remember is Mahatma Gandhi was not a member of the Constituent Assembly. So that's all from this video. Let us continue this chapter in the next video. Thank you.